Go to Vegas, bet it all. Put it on the Bucs win, whoever they gon' play gon' fall. Don't say I ain't told y'all. Loose cannons gon' fold y'all. Yeah, the Heat be 9-3, but it gets real cold in the fall. That's when the season start. Bucs come in 40 hard. Win after win, ripping the division apart. Panthers, they pussycats. Falcons got bird flu. Take the Ravens and Dolphins and open up a zoo. Cause one thing's for sure, better than the Bucs, they show lane. And every day in Tampa Bay, we say fuck the Saints. We in Tampa Bay, baby. 813 going crazy. Tampa, boy. This Bucs podcast be the greatest. Loose cannons, let's go.
What is up, Bucs Nation? It is Wednesday, January 22nd, 2025, and you are watching the Loose Cannons podcast on this Victory Wednesday. Okay, I'm your boy, the Samer Ali, hanging out with my intern, Stank Bastard, and the intern in the closet, Izzy, who I will not be showing on screen today at all. Sorry, Izzy. This is what it is, man. Listen, it's a momentous occasion, but don't worry, I'll show you. Don't worry. But before we dive in to why it's a Victory Wednesday, make sure you guys hit that like button and hit the subscribe button if you are new at the end of the show and you realize that this is the greatest thing you've ever watched since The Price is Right, the first day you missed school because you were sick and your mom left you in the living room for 4 hours by yourself and you didn't quite understand what was going on in the other room. But there you were watching an old man with a skinny microphone talking about numbers and appliances, and you're like, this is a fucking good show. This is a pretty damn good show, and that's when your world changed because you finally understood what went down as an adult at home when you don't go to school. The Price is Right is the epitome of that exact moment, that exact experience. Stanker.
Samer, what am I here for? You said Victory Wednesday. What are we celebrating?
But before I get into it, I want to take you back a little bit, all right, man? There was a time in this franchise's history where we had a quarterback by the name of Tom Brady, okay? Now, this quarterback was throwing the ball to a guy named Mike Evans, a guy named Chris Godwin, a third guy named Antonio Brown, okay? And then we had another guy, some dude named Gronkowski, okay? So, and then he's also handing the ball off to a Leonard Fournette. I mean, he was, having the ball snapped to him by a Pro Bowl / All-Pro center. He had a right tackle who's going to become a future Hall of Fame left tackle, blocking for him up front. And yet, somehow, with all of that, it's not considered the best offense in the franchise's history because the man who made the best offense in franchise history is a pretty ugly dude with unbalanced looking eyes. Not Izzy. Okay. Who goes by name of Liam Coen, who's got the Bucs playing top 5 offense in every fucking category possible over this past season, 2024. Rumored to want to take a job over at the stinky-ass Jacksonville Jaguars, okay? And it's not happening because guess what? The Buccaneers last night at 1 a.m. backed up a Brinks truck or two in that man's driveway and said, hey, we got to talk. We're going to make you a very rich man. And you don't got to wait too long to become an even richer man and possibly a Super Bowl champion in the mix. So that's what I'm talking about, Stank. Bucs offensive coordinator Liam Coen is not leaving Tampa Bay. He will remain a Buccaneer for at least one more season to continue what he's built with Baker Mayfield. And yes, that is why today is indeed a Victory Wednesday. Wednesday. And that's why you're in a coat, in a or in a she shed with a heater on your feet. Doing a show on a Wednesday night.
He shed. And I didn't hear none of your intro. I thought it was going to all be focused on me, right? I mean, Bucs fan base, the first thing you should have said was thank you to me. And really only a handful of people on Twitter reached out and said, thank you, Stank. Okay. I got Trent Baalke fired. I did. All right. You don't think Trent was seeing my anti Liam Coen tweet?
I didn't want to do it because being the humble person I am, I was the campaign manager behind.
You were the campaign manager behind the scenes. People are still reaching out to me like, oh, that was a joke. Yeah, no, I hate Liam Coen. I want Byron Leftwich back. This guy's terrible. It was all Baker. Yeah, no, that's exactly how I really feel. Or you're stupid and you can't read between the lines. You don't understand sarcasm. One of the two. And there's lots of people who'll never believe that it was a campaign, but it was. And you're welcome. You're welcome. I got that stupid fucking GM in Jacksonville fired because he believed everything I tweeted. So you're welcome. MK earlier said, wow, Stank, you're so damn lucky. He decided to say because of me. All right. I trashed that guy. Even Cody's uncle reached out and said, Stank, what are you doing? And I'm like, just trust
the process.
Just trust
the process. Let's Stank. It's a big deal. Okay. Because this was going to be another year of Baker having to learn another offense. It would have been 3 years in a row at that point. It would not have been ideal. And so keeping Liam was a major part of this program to continue moving forward. You don't have to worry about changing things on that side of the ball. Continuity is a big deal. The guys are going to want to return, obviously, the ones who are free agents. Ben Betterson already came out and said, I want to be a Buck again. All of these things, very important. But not only that, this guy's got the offense humming. And I really do think he has future head coach written on him. Is he ready this year? I don't necessarily think so. But you know what? You bring him back. You let him get his feet even wetter. He's going to learn from his mistakes this past season, which weren't that many. And he's going to keep this thing rolling. And now we finally feel like the Pittsburgh Steelers of the world. We feel like those teams that are just constantly competing, growing talent, creating a culture that starts at the very top all the way down. And the locker room continues to carry that culture throughout. So having him come back, massive. The amount of money they gave him, I'm assuming, is more than $3 million because that's kind of the top end.
About 4.5 mil.
Yeah, that top end is $3 million for Todd Monken and Ben Johnson. The highest, I believe, was $5 million at one point for Josh McDaniels when he was a Patriots offensive coordinator. So I'm assuming it's in that $4-5 million a year range, which is really high for an offensive coordinator and even a head coach. Some teams aren't even paying head coaches that much. So it's a massive deal. It keeps him here, keeps him happy. I'm fucking stoked about it, even though people think I hate the guy. I absolutely don't hate him. I just think he, I could be nitpicky and everybody's, Stink, me. Nobody's above criticism. Nobody.
Well, you don't like anybody outside of yourself.
That's true.
So if you give anybody any love, it should be massive. Means they're doing something right. And we've been hard on Liam since the beginning. I don't think people understand that. If you're new to the show, you don't understand, ugliest offensive coordinator in the league. We said that coming in, and that's what we needed. Okay. We're so sick of the distraction that was 9-piece Dave. And then this guy comes in, no chin, uneven, facial features, and just a huge dick. And he put it right on the table from the beginning. So much so that it impressed the entire fan base. I was legitimately worried about JC Cornell. I was worried about a lot of people, bro. They put their entire mental well-being on Liam Coen and the decision and fire Bowles. People said lots of nasty, mean things. Jason Light, call the Glazers, this and that. Called me names. Me, right? All right. They got a little too serious about it. But Liam didn't leave you. He didn't leave you high and dry, bro. That guy's made of something different. I think we all knew that. And I think what it comes down to and what people don't really take into account is you get to look in Baker Mayfield's eyes every single day. 90 days until they get back on the field again. And when he goes to sleep at night, I'm sure he's thinking about Baker. When he wakes up in the morning, even though he's got a newborn, I'm sure he's thinking about Baker.
Is there any doubt that Liam Coen is in love with Baker Mayfield?
No, bro. There's no doubt. They're at Cheesecake Factory right now celebrating. Okay?
Oh,
right
dear
now.
God. Cheesecake Factory.
When he looks at him, Mariah Carey's playing in the background. You got some Whitney Houston playing back. Maybe some Boyz II Men.
Mary J. Blige, I tweeted earlier.
Maybe some Mary J. Blige. Maybe a little Brian McKnight. You know what I mean? We listened to that song before we got to the game that last
we did.
Game.
It didn't turn out well, but
it didn't turn out well. But listen, man, at the end of the day, this is what I think is a thing that people kind of want to gloss over. This shows you not only how much the Bucs front office, how much the Bucs ownership believe in Liam Coen, but also how much they believe in Todd Bowles. Because this all became this conversation of you got to get this guy or that guy. You can't have both. There's no way you keep both. You got to get rid of this dude. And yet this guy came back to coach under Todd Bowles. He understands that what he has here is special and significant enough to where if he continues to build it, it could be, him continuing to build what's eventually his own job. Working on a project that you're going to take over is way better than going into an unknown and not even understanding what you're possibly getting yourself into and how it's going to possibly work out in your favor or not in your favor. You don't know if the Jacksonville Jaguars offensive line is going to be able to do what you need them to do in order to protect the quarterback, for you to run the offense that you want to run, and for the quarterback to look a certain way for you. So all those things get weighed in, and you're like, you know what? The grass is not greener every single time. And the scenario played out in which Liam understood what he had here. And I think another thing about this stink, another level people don't talk about, if you're a good coach, you have a certain confidence about yourself. And that confidence says, you know what? I didn't just do it once. I could do this again. And you know what? If I do it again, I'll get another head coaching opportunity. So it's not one of those, yeah, there is one of 32. I get it. But certain guys get, like Ben Johnson and other guys of that nature, they say, you know what? I know what I'm good at. I'll have another chance next year. It's not like nobody gets fired. They always get fired, and there's going to be a chance. So he understands in his own confidence, I'm always going to have that opportunity. So why not try to build and finish what I started here? And with that in mind, this might be my opportunity. So I'm kind of auditioning and building on the job that I have. It's a perfect scenario. And now they're going to be able to invest on the other side of the ball. It's going to be, it's one of the, I don't want to say the greatest move the Bucs franchise has done organizationally, but it's up there, man. It's a pretty decent, it's a top 5 move in terms of what they've been able to do.
Speaks to what they built here. Speaks to the organization, the confidence within the building, ownership. It speaks to the environment, that locker room chemistry, the guys we have here. He didn't want to leave, man. And he bet on himself. What more can you ask for, bro? That's not easy to do. Okay. You know that he could have had that job, or he could have went out there and marketed himself and potentially got another job out there. He deserves it. He does. It was impressive what he did this year. But he decided to come back here. We should have known, by the way, yesterday when Tom Moore re-upped. He's been in the league for 50 fucking years, you know, and imagine you getting to sit next to Yoda and learn all about the Force. That's basically what Liam Coen gets to do. Another CM. Learn from Yoda. Okay, I know you don't know what I'm talking about, Samer, because you're looking at me kind of funny. Like, who?
I don't know who that is.
Right. Listen, bro.
Ain't gonna lie.
Basically, there's this little green dude.
Is it a Harry Potter thing? Because you guys always mention Harry Potter.
Star Wars.
Then he rides on Luke's. He rides on Luke's shoulders and he bullies Luke, and then they go and Luke. Anyways, trust me, it's really good. All right, you should probably watch it one day. My point is, it's not a mistake he decided to stay here. You know, and he's got family, personal shit too. I'm sure there was a lot of things. His wife just had a baby. That you don't want to uproot and go to Jacksonville. To Jacksonville. Nobody put it better than you, Samer. Disgusting town. Known for what? Zoos and I don't know what the fuck is it?
It's a very smelly town. I mean, it's a very terrible smelly town. Nothing to do there. Everyone's like, you got to see the zoo. You got to see the zoo. The zoo can kiss my ass, dude. It's a fucking standard issue zoo. It's nothing special. All right. If I want to look at camels and zebra, I go to my backyard. It's not a big deal what we got over there in Jacksonville. People who live in Jacksonville tell you they don't want to live in Jacksonville. Okay. Like, I feel like that's where we should send the criminals that don't really belong in prison, but you also don't want them in a nice town. They should go live in Jacksonville. That's kind of what they should do. That's how that should brand it, that whole deal. But the other thing, Stank.
It's a cursed town, by the way. They did Byron Leftwich dirty. He deserved that job. And now there's a curse. There's a Leftwich curse on that stupid fucking city with the owner with the stupid fucking mustache.
Yeah, I don't like that guy. I don't like his mustache. I don't like anything about him. But back to Liam. The Bucs also kind of bet on him last season when they hired him. Dude came solo. He came with nobody. He came with no staff members. He had no actual like offensive staff. It was his playbook, his brain, his uneven access eyes, his extremely, just all of that. The awkwardness that comes with him. But dude loves football. Okay.
Samer,
he's John Gruden approved.
Wait, imagine for a second. He said, huddle up, guys. Take a knee. Right. And Liam's talking to the offense. How do you know if he's looking at you or not? You can't take a break, right?
Listen, I'll tell you what.
You gotta be on your toes.
I'm telling you what. Him and Izzy see eye to eye. Guarantee it. Okay.
Izzy. Bring Izzy in for a minute, bro. Nobody can speak this particular subject better than Izzy. Izzy, listen. What kind of advantages are there when you get a group of people and you have to talk to them, right?
And you can look at every single person in the eye at the same time. You could look at both sides of the ball at the same time.
Right. Yeah, there is a big advantage to it. You don't get too much stage fright. You kind of see everybody as they are. You're not having to look at, two different sides at a different time. Everybody's just right there, panoramic view. Like, okay, guys, listen up. This is the play right here. This is what we're going to be doing right here. This is the moment we're going to be chasing after.
It's a damn superpower.
You don't even have to say, "Look at me in the eye," folks. They don't have a choice.
No, you don't.
You don't have a choice.
You really don't, because as you're talking, everybody's already looking at you, and you could see everybody.
Wow.
Like you could be talking to Bucky at one moment over here, and then you see Baker on the side goofing off. Baker, look over here. I need to see you over this side. He's like, "Whoa, what the hell?"
So Izzy, essentially, you're like a duck. You got eyes on the side of your head, so you can actually see everything, right? So listen. The point I was trying to make.
That's what I love about you, Izzy. You got our backs, right? You
literally
got our backs.
He's got our 3 or 6 or our 9, all of it.
Hey, look. So in military terms, I got your 3, I got your 6, I even got your 9 and your 12. I got
That's
everything.
what I said. Yeah, thanks for
He's
saying
this
exactly
3, 6, 9, 12 mafia right here.
I love that we have an intern who just I love that we have an intern who just says the things we just said. But listen, the point I was making was that the Bucs bet on this guy who came in by himself and had nothing really to bring with him other than his playbook and his mind. And so I think he looked back at it and said, if I'm going to continue to build relationships, it's got to continue here. And I've got to reward these guys who have bet on me. But also, where else can you go, Stank, and get a quarterback that you already agree with? You already have chemistry with. You already have literally, he sees eye to eye with, okay? As difficult as that may be for Baker to say for him. But they definitely see eye to eye.
Yep.
And then you've got Chris Godwin. Then you've got Mike Evans. Then you've got Tristan Wirfs, Luke Gedeke. You got Graham Barton, who's going to be a stud. You've got everything in place to make yourself look even better, okay? You've got Bucky Irving. You've got Rashad White and the things that he does. So you got Cade Otton, who's apparently a dude now, okay? And who knows what other pieces are going to get added to this team in the offseason. On the offensive side, I still think they're going to add 1 or 2 little pieces, but the defense is probably going to be the majority. But either way, you're also part of a potential Super Bowl contending team. And what's a better way to get more job opportunities than to go that route? He's literally taking the Ben Johnson route, and other guys have done the same thing. And sometimes there are certain guys in the league who are good enough to be able to pick where they go, and they get that choice. And I mean, look at a guy like Josh McDaniels. As good as he was as an offensive coordinator and as bad as he was as a head coach the first time, he still got another opportunity years later. So even when you fuck up, you get opportunities. But this guy is really good. I think he's special. People understand that. But I know that he wants to look at that in a way of, I'm going to make this even better for myself and possibly already here. And like you said, by the way, people don't realize his dad lives in Tampa.
Yeah.
And he's very close to his dad. His dad's a head football coach in high school, I believe, maybe college at some point. But he learned a lot from his dad. He talks to his dad all the time. His dad loves the fact that he coaches in Tampa. It's a big part of the decision, man. And now that he has grandkids with him and all that, it's a big deal. So a lot of stuff went into it. Awesome that it happened.
Yeah, and people don't give Todd Bowles any credit ever.
No.
But he's a big part of making this happen, man. And say what you want about that guy, all right? He hasn't had the pieces since the Super Bowl run. You don't just lose JPP and Shaq and Sue, and guys we invested in. We didn't hit on all those draft picks, right? Devin White didn't work out very well. SMB ultimately didn't stay here. We're kind of a shell of ourselves, and we've tried, and we've added pieces like Cansey, and obviously Vita stepped the fuck up, and Antoine's a star, and I think we've got some young pieces out there, but Zion, but give this guy a chance. We've got some money to spend. We're going to draft heavy. I don't think we've seen what Todd's capable of, and this is going to be our year for that. Honestly, it's going to be his year to show out, because I think he knows. He's not stupid. He gets it. What we just paid Liam, that's an investment for the future. And having a guy who's okay with that, by the way. Imagine hiring the guy who's going to take over for you, your potential replacement. He gets it. Yeah, Baker's going to be here for a long time, and this team wants that continuity, obviously.
And it's been, Todd said it himself, I think last year at the end of the season, about how he doesn't plan on coaching forever. So that window, probably behind closed doors, there's an understanding of where that is. And I think you don't make this move with Liam. You don't kind of bring him back and force the issue and make sure he doesn't get taken away without at least the conversation having happened of, hey, we think you are the next guy. We don't think it's going to take too long to get there. And like you said, Todd Bowles being comfortable Like, that's, I think, something that he's probably learned from BA, who wanted to bring in guys that could take his job, that he could hand the keys to. And now Todd Bowles can hand the keys off to this guy at some point. And so it's understood. I'm pretty sure they're not allowed to put that in a contract because of the Rooney Rule and things like that. So they have to, give everybody fair opportunity to earn a job that could potentially open up. But I think it's kind of a, wink, wink, hey, this kind of scenario. And plus, on top of that, Stank, Todd, like, this is kind of the season coming up of where Todd really doesn't have an excuse because they're going to invest on that side of the ball. And if it doesn't work out, then I think the guys in the locker room would also understand, hey, they've done him right. They haven't fired him after winning a division and this and that. They've given him a longer, he's been here for 4 years now at that point where it's understood of, hey, here's the plan in action. Here's how we want the movement between this guy to this guy. It makes more sense as opposed to what happened this year. Win the division, go out, get a playoff game, lose a playoff game, and say, hey, fuck you, we're going to keep the guy you just hired after 1 year. It just feels badly for the guys in the locker room who fight for Todd Bowles. So this is a win-win on all those fronts. And
Todd doesn't give enough credit for that. He took this job knowing that he was up against a fucking wall.
Yeah.
Okay. At that time, Tom was retired, right? It was up in the air what Tom was going to do, or maybe he just decided to come back. You got BA that got forced upstairs, no money to spend. We get through that season and make a run. And then after that, it's like, where the fuck do we go from here? How do you replace the GOAT? You don't, right? Somehow we land Baker Mayfield. They invest in trying to get the offense back up to speed. And Todd's having to kind of live with the pieces, on defense. And, like I said, ultimately we draft Cansey and Tyke, and we've added some guys here, but that's never been the focus. It was, holy shit, we've got to rebuild, this offense so we can score some fucking points. And now I think he's going to get a fair shake at it. And we have been critical. Everybody's been critical. You should be critical of what Todd Bowles and this defense has put on the field, especially last season. Awful. And I'm sure he feels the exact same way. I don't think that's indicative of how he wants to play football, defensive football either. That guy's known as an aggressive, guy who likes to push the envelope and do crazy shit out there and bring pressure. And he just hasn't been able to trust, the pieces out there due to injury and depth and all that kind of shit. So
I really think
I'm excited.
I really think that Hall injury at cornerback in week 1 kind of really snowballed the lack of depth in the secondary because they lost 2 corners in that one game right then and there. And
we celebrated losing Carlton Davis, but Carlton Davis was our number 1 cornerback. Yeah. Okay. And I wasn't sold on Zion. I was, you guys gave me shit all offseason. I was like, I didn't see it with the guy. And I think he played his fucking ass off this year. And we got to see what Jamel Dean is. And for the longest time, I've been saying Jamel Dean isn't it. He's not it. And he couldn't stay healthy this year. And then the fucking musical chairs at safety and the musical chairs at nickel and the musical chairs at outside linebacker. And then the absolute dreadful outside pass rush. And somehow we're still top 10 in sacks. We have 46, 47 sacks.
You still win 10 games in spite of having.
Somehow he was still able to generate a pass rush with all of that shit going on. Oh, and by the way, doesn't get any credit for bringing in Dave and then replacing Dave with Liam. He'll get no credit for any of this shit. People give him all the blame and then give Jason all the credit. And I love Jason, but Todd Bowles is still the head coach of this fucking football team.
Yeah.
Okay. He doesn't just sit back and let Jason make all the decisions. That's not how it fucking works.
But not only that, Stank, not only did he bring that guy in, but he brought in a guy who's going to run a very aggressive offense, a very score-heavy offense that's not predicated on running the ball and milking the clock and playing Tony Dungy football. He's out there scoring 35 points, 45, 50 fucking points, and dialing it up, fades in the red zone when you're up 25 points in the fourth quarter. And instead of just trying to take field goals. So the narrative around Todd being conservative and not wanting to score, it's all been disproven now at this point. And so he should get credit for that. But like you said, man, I think this is the year they're going to give him that opportunity to finally, it's kind of a make or break feel for him, the way it feels from the outside looking in. But the other thing we're going to talk about before we kind of move on.
Wait. This is also the year that my light's going to go out. This is also the year you need to hit the like button. Okay. I'm sorry, Izzy. It took you too long. All right.
I was going to
30 minutes
go right
in the show
into that,
already.
but this man right here.
what I was going
I
to
wanted
say.
to jump into that, and I actually wanted to jump into the Spytek thing as well.
Hold on. We haven't gotten to that topic yet. All right. If you're going to be an intern,
Yeah.
you need to learn that you can't just jump ahead. All right. I expect Stank to
I
jump
mean, I was
ahead.
gonna add. I wasn't gonna just
We're
like,
getting
hey,
there.
let's talk.
We're getting there. We're
Damn.
getting there. I was going to add one last thing before we go. When the news came out about this Liam Coen not leaving and the contract and all that, the contract has not yet been signed at this point. At that point, I don't know if it's been signed throughout the day or anything like that. And in that process, the Jacksonville Jaguars did fire that general manager that apparently none of these head coaching candidates want. Now, some people are afraid that they're going to make another push to get Liam Coen back. And then the rumor came out that Liam Coen wanted to take the job only if he could bring John Spytek with him as the not the offensive coordinator, as the general manager, who's now been hired, obviously, by the Raiders, which will be the next thing we talk about here in a second. But I want to talk a little bit about that scenario. It would be absolutely ridiculous for Liam Coen to go through the process of the celebration that, Bucs fans have gone through and the announcement of the new contract and all this, and then to go back on that word and then go and take the job with the Jacksonville Jaguars, regardless of who the GM would. It would never it would make no sense.
He's
for him
more
to
likely
do
to take the Raiders job than he is to go to Jacksonville.
Correct. But what I'm saying is that would be almost career suicide because you don't do those things in the NFL. I believe the last time a guy did that, he hasn't been looked at all. I think it was Josh McDaniels. He was almost hired by the Colts, and on the flight there, he canceled and turned around. And so then he's never been looked at again for a job. You don't do that. It's bad optics. It's immediately burning every single bridge that you built with the Bucs and guys on the Bucs that could potentially be your staff guys at some point moving forward if you were a head coach at another team or whatever. He's not going to take the second-ditch effort by the Jaguars to bring him back. Izzy, what were you going to say?
Oh no! First and foremost, before Stank decided to do my job for me, which I appreciate it. Like and subscribe, please. Thank you. I know this is not our normal day of doing it, but special occasion, wanted to put it out for you guys. Like and subscribe. Second off, the whole Spytek situation. The Bucs retain Liam Coen, but on the flip side, Spytek, he becomes the Raiders' new general manager. How do you see the Bucs transitioning off on that? Like, I saw you posted something online saying that they're very well built within, that they can manage the transition per se and look inwards or outwards if need be.
Yeah, they're set up beautifully, honestly. Like, they didn't get to this spot that they're in now without having a bunch of people on staff that already do a bunch of things and bring a bunch of things to the table and are ready to take on those jobs. I can't remember the name of the guy who's probably going to be the one that steps up. The other assistant general manager technically is Mike Greenberg, who didn't take the job with the Jets. He's more of the cap side of things, right? So, listen, John Spytek deserves the job, all right? Friend of the program, fucking amazing guy. His family's awesome. Absolutely deserves the job. Super, super stoked for him. I'm sure everybody in the Bucs front office and that entire building is going to say we're super happy for John Spytek. Wish him best of luck. I'm super excited that Jason Light has basically put in a sleeper cell so that we can make sure the Max Crosby trade goes through, which is, people aren't really thinking about that, but that's next level, evil genius type of shit there. But in all seriousness, yeah, John Spytek deserves the job. He was basically going to be either somebody else's general manager or the guy who takes over for Jason Light if he really wanted to wait that long. It makes sense to go there, work with a guy like Tom Brady, who I guess I remember they played football together at Michigan, so it was great.
Yeah,
the Bucs are going to be
teammates.
fine. The Bucs are going to be fine because they have like 4 or 5 other assistant general managers on this staff that work behind the scenes to make all this great shit happen. Guys that learned under Spytek, who also learned under Jason Light, Greenberg, that whole deal. So that they have a really awesome brain trust of people in that front office. So yeah, I'm not worried about it. I think it's an awesome move for everybody involved. And now other people get the shine that Spytek's gotten for the last few years by getting a step up. Stank? We've
been talking about this with Jason for 3 or 4 years now. Like they've understood this day was coming. Their plan has been in place, and Jason's been the one out there promoting his guy. And what a better opportunity, even though I talked to him on the phone the other day and I told him, fuck you. I know you're talking to other teams and I didn't appreciate it. And so, we sometimes that happens. Sometimes you got to give him a good talking to. But now, now he's in Vegas, and anytime we go there, I guess we're going to be VIP status. That's what I'm assuming. Hopefully he negotiated that into the deal. but they've got it covered in this front office. One of the best in the league. And like I said, couldn't happen to a better guy. We all love Spytek, man. Good dude.
Good dude.
Hold on, wait for a second. Music is Izzy's fault. Fixed it. What music?
Whenever I switch to you and we switch back, there is playing music because of you. I mean, so
oh damn it! Did it do it again?
Yeah, so it's your fault. Stank is dealing with the flashlight situation. Not sure what's going on there.
Bro, I look like a bug. Hey guys, here. Let me just tell you what's happening.
Yeah, you look like. Are you weather chasing right now?
Might as well be, bro.
Weather chaser, man.
Like,
hey,
it's cold out here in Tampa. This is not normal shit.
I didn't see anything in the chat that we should discuss really, but yeah, I'm pretty sure Jamel Dean will no longer be a Buccaneer when the season comes around.
Yeah, Dean's gone.
Or cut him. I don't know if it makes much sense to cut him.
I don't mind him being a third.
I don't even
guy. So
yeah, that's the thing.
I don't know if we can get off his contract or he's tradable. From what I understand, I don't think he is tradable.
It's not easy to get rid of him. It wasn't as easy as taking the hit that they took for Carlton was a lot less. So I wouldn't be surprised if he's here,
making
but
good money. Yeah,
he's not going to be given the job, and he might be one of those guys that gets traded at the trade deadline, possibly where somebody's willing to overpay if they have an injury or something like that. But again, I really don't know. But yeah, I would expect the Bucs to go after some guys on defense. Khalil Mack just said he's coming back for one more year. He is a free agent. Feels like a guy. Feels like a guy. Stank. I got a couple guys, a list of dudes that we'll talk about at some point. No, dude,
we don't need to add more retreads to this. Like we need some youth. We need some guys.
This guy would be a rotational pass rusher for a cheap price. He's an older guy.
2.0.
He's not going to pull a Randy Gregory on us where he says he's going to sign and then has some sort of weird issue.
Fuck you, Randy Gregory, you piece of shit.
Yeah, he's not going to pull that. Like, he's a guy that when he does come in, if the Buccaneers somehow pull the trigger and bring him in, he's going to be one of those guys that you could depend on for at least 4.5 sacks. At least. Alongside with Yaya and Vita and a few others.
He was very productive this past year. He was before the year before that, I think he had like 14 sacks. He's around that JPP type of scenario. I think he brings more to the table than what JPP had at the time. And again, because of his age, it'll be very affordable. But that's not the guy I'm saying is our number one edge guy. He's coming in and he's going to be Von Miller for us. I'm not at all saying that. I'm just saying that's a guy that you could look at and say, bring him in, situational pass rusher. He'd be very, very powerful with the guys in the middle that we have. But Max Crosby stank. Let's talk about this, all right? Jason Light sent a man named Spytek, okay, to the Las Vegas Raiders. Sleeper cell, okay, in the building to make sure that the trade goes through for Max Crosby becoming a Buccaneer. What better way to thank the man who put you on the map and helped you get hired than to go to the new team you're going to? Saying, guys, we need to rebuild. And the best way we're going to do is we need to get some more pieces to rebuild with. And how are we going to do that? We're going to get rid of one asset that we know can get us something in return. And I want to send it back to my boss, my former boss, my friend, my guy who is absolutely family to me. I'm sending him back a thank you. And that guy is going to be Max Crosby in a gift basket. Okay. Got cheeses in there, some jams. Okay. Maybe some, bottle of wine in there. Max Crosby going to the Bucs might actually be a thing. Remember here, keep in mind, Stank, before I let you kind of respond to me here, Jason Light worked in New England, and New England has always pulled off trades with Jason Light since he's become a Buccaneers general manager. They've had this like little pipeline going back and forth. And so he learned from the hooded master Bill Belichick in terms of how to set up these sleeper cells throughout the NFL. And now he's doing it himself. I'm going to send him here. Hey, Spytek, you've done a great job. I love your last name, even though it's not your real last name. Go ahead, go in there, do what you got to do. Send me back a gift. Thank you. And that's what's going to go down.
This is cute. It's unrealistic. Maybe it happens, but
what?
I think
no.
I think
hold on.
Hold on.
You're going to tell me a scenario is not realistic?
You just talk for 7 minutes, okay? Let me fucking talk now. All right. Uh-oh. I don't think there's a scenario where we're able to add that contract to this team. And I honestly don't think that Tom Brady, who's trying to make a name for himself and put a stamp on that football team, is going to let Max Crosby out of the building. I don't see it happening.
Max Crosby hates Tom Brady.
Okay? Whatever. No.
Tom Brady doesn't eat meat. Max Crosby eats literally a cow while it's alive.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I don't see
That's
it happening.
Impressive. Wait,
it would be great.
A cow while it's alive.
It'd be stupid to say you don't want Max Crosby here. I just think it's unrealistic. I don't think we're getting any of those break the bank guys. Like you think, somehow we're going to fucking trade for what's his name in Dallas. That's not happening either, dude. Okay.
Different scenario. Max Crosby wants out. Max Crosby wants a new contract.
He did.
Max Crosby can have a reworked contract that brings him here. There's a bunch of realism to it. I was joking, obviously, about the sleeper cell thing, which somehow went way over your head, Mr.
No, I
seriously, serious guy. Serious guy.
This is a serious podcast. I don't appreciate you. We have a brand here. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. And it's not this shenanigans, whatever you're trying to do here. This is a very serious show, serious program, as Latte, loves to say. And somebody asked earlier, I think it was Jonas, did Latte have anything to do with getting Liam back in the building? What do you think, bro? All right. What do you think? He's in there every day, cuts his stupid hair, is in charge of what you see on the field.
Hold on.
What?
Let's not shortchange Latte. Have you seen Liam's hair? Have you seen Liam's haircut? Latte didn't do that. No, Latte didn't do that. It's absolutely horrible.
He may have, though. You don't know.
No, he has horrible hair. So Latte would never have him looking like that. One. But yeah, he does pass him by in the hall. And Liam could look at him while he's passing him by. And so he makes comments to him every now and then. And eventually, one of those comments.
Liam can't help but see him.
He can see him. See him, Cohen. See him, Cohen.
See him, Cohen. Make that a t-shirt.
See him coming, Liam Cohen. That's what he is. He's always seen him coming from all sides. Oh man.
KGH for life. Trey Hendrickson might be available. I like that.
I was gonna throw that name out there too.
Not only
16 sacks on the year in Cincinnati.
Hold on. You guys think that's more affordable than Max Crosby?
Because he's not going to get near what Max Crosby would get.
It's the same. No,
it's not.
They're both. No. What? 16 sacks. 16 sacks is not good enough for the money you think.
I believe was the correct amount. Yeah.
That's okay. That's top end money. Regardless, they're both going to be the same contract. Space.
I think Trey's quite a bit older than him. Is he not? Am I wrong?
No, dude. They're the exact same. They're in the same contract space. How is one doable?
Wait. What would make it even better is that
the only difference is you don't have to give something up to get him. But if the Raiders want him gone and he can't come up with an agreement with them, then they would be in the market to get rid of him anyway. That's the only difference.
Their ages, but it would also hurt the Saints fans to see Trey Hendrickson here, which would heal my heart a little bit. I wouldn't mind that guy.
How about the Saints not having anyone wanting that job?
Nobody wants it.
Jacksonville Jaguars. Yikes, that's hilarious.
Of the NFC.
Nobody wants it. Their fucking town is being snowed in right now. It's, hell is freezing over right in front of our face.
So Trey Hendrickson. So Trey Hendrickson is 30 years old. Max Crosby is only 27.
Oh, see? That's significantly different.
Way different.
Production. Still got production, though.
Yep.
I still
28 solo tackles, 7.5 sacks from Matt Crosby.
Yeah, but 30 is your last payday, usually, in the NFL. And I think like your last real payday. So I think he's still in the same range, in my opinion.
Chase Young's a free agent. Chase actually played fairly decent from what I saw.
I'm telling you, because I know this from the people in that building, they do not like Chase Young in any way, shape, or form.
Okay.
They will never be bringing him in.
So just to compare the production between Max and Trey, 7.5 sacks, 28 solo tackles for Max Crosby this season, 33 solo tackles, 17.5 sacks, 2 forced fumbles this year.
How many games did Max Crosby actually play?
Max Crosby played a total of 12 games.
Okay. We're going to do an entire free agency episode, probably several, by the way. And I'm ill-prepared for this. So
edge is going to be something they're going to go after, whether it's through a trade, through a free agency type scenario. I think either or. And no matter what they do, free agency or trade, they're also going to pair it with a guy that they draft. That's what Jason's always done. If he signs a corner, he drafts a corner. If he signs a guard, he drafts a guard, tackle, whatever it is. That's just kind of how he doubles down on his guys, and that's also how you take a guy who you don't have to necessarily force to play as a rookie, or vice versa. You don't have to play the veteran and kind of let him
somehow Pletz came up with the information before you while he's recording another podcast.
Why he's on another podcast?
Breaking down film. Somehow he came up with it before you did. I'm just saying.
Hendrickson would cost less in terms of compensation due to age.
See, that was my point. Thank you.
I think
Did
he's going to be.
Did he say the exact age?
But being
No,
a
he
free
didn't.
agent, I'm guaranteeing you his number's going to go. He's going to shoot up because he's going to be one of the only actual like dudes on the free agent market as an edge guy. No one's going to.
He's
pay
one of the
Mac more
guys
than him.
that he's going to be one of the guys that's going to be sought after heavily this offseason.
That's what I'm saying. It's going to be in the same range. I like Max Crosby more, in my opinion. Obviously, he's younger, but I think they're both productive as fuck. I think the Bucs are going to kick the tire on every possible option, but I like the Mac option regardless of those two guys because he's going to be cheap at his age, and it's very similar to the JPP trade where you bring in a guy on the back end, but I think he has more to offer than JPP had more to offer at that point that we brought him in. So Mac would be productive, man, in my opinion, especially with the two dudes we got in the middle of Vita and Cansey. It would just be fucking awesome. And that wouldn't be my grab of the year or grab of the free agency like class. It would just be the guy. And then there's a dude.
So Pless is saying, if available, Josh Sweat would make more sense in terms of scheme fit.
Try not to give out my list there, Pless. I'm trying to do it on a different show. That's why. I was going to say Sweat and then the kid who plays for the New York Giants, who they drafted a few years ago, who's kind of been the odd man out.
I was also going to say Sweat and Deo Edding. That guy, he's on my list too.
I believe that's the kid who's from the New York Giants, who became the odd man out when the Giants traded for Brian.
Do we
Burns.
play that sound, Deo clip when he sacks somebody or something? Or no, that would be too advanced for our in-house sound team to actually play something like.
There's going to be some options for the Bucs to play around with, man. We'll see. We'll see. But Josh Sweat's up there on the list too. But all right. Well, hey, listen. Short podcast tonight because we just want to celebrate Liam Coen staying a Buccaneer. I don't
lean
anticipate
back
that changing. And congrats.
I don't dance. I just pull up the pants and I do the rock away.
Izzy, that's the third time you've interrupted me mid-sentence
lean back
in one show, man. Congrats to John Spytek. Make sure you guys hit the like button, hit the subscribe button if you're new, and listen. Just to let you guys know, Stank was actually afraid we were going to lose Liam Coen. So in the comments after the show's over, make sure you let him know how stupid he is for actually doubting the Glazers, okay? And how deep their pockets are. And how much money they're willing to throw at an ugly offensive coordinator. Because they love ugly, okay, in Tampa Bay. And that man deserves to be here. He belongs here. And they made sure that happened. Izzy. I know this is kind of a big day for you because you guys are really close, the I brothers and that whole thing. You guys got a connection there. So any closing words?
Congrats, Izzy.
Any closing words or a message you want to send to your cross-eyed brother?
Welcome back. Thank God you didn't leave. And let's go Bucs.
Wow, that was
Go
terrible.
Bucs.
Go Bucs.
Go Bucs.
It's kickoff, set it off. Go to Vegas, bet it all. Put it on the Bucs win, whoever they gon' play gon' fall. Don't say I ain't told y'all. Loose cannons gon' fold y'all. Yeah, the Heat be 9-3, but it gets real cold in the fall. That's when the season start. Bucs come in 40 hard. Win after win, ripping the division apart. Panthers, they pussycats. Falcons got bird flu. Take the Ravens and Dolphins and open up a zoo. Cause one